Evening, folks. Evening. Good evening to you. I wanted to just pop this one in, right? Um, in actual fact, it is related to carnivore eating, okay? And I think you'd be interested. It's a cheap, nutritious meal that our ancestors, some 5 to 600 years ago, would have eaten. In fact, probably more more predated to that when we consider that they were probably hunting wild boar. So in and around about 1000 to 1200, 300 years ago, this is a typical diet that they would have eaten. It is pork, based on pork, but basically what you're doing is you're making meatballs out of pork and beef, the mixture of pork and beef. You want to get one egg in 700 grams of pork and beef mixture, right? Pork and beef, ground beef, right? Right, excuse me. Break the egg and mix it all into the meat. You then want to get hold of just a little smidge. Oh dear, excuse me. Excuse me, I'm ever so sorry. Perhaps I should have brought some water in with me. You then want to get hold of just little slivers of butter, just a little bit. And then also little slivers of cheese. Grated cheese actually is better. Don't want a lot. Don't want a lot. Salt, pepper if you want it, and just a quarter teaspoon of English mustard, Coleman's mustard. Only a quarter teaspoon. And then basically you crack the egg and then you mix it all in. Mix it right in. Divide it up. 700 grams will give you about 12 meatballs. Right? Onto the baking tray, into the oven, 180 for about 25 minutes in the oven at 180, right? Also, what you're going to be cooking in your air fryer is pork bellies. So what I did was, when I'd finished cooking the meatballs, because I've now put them into the fridge, they are absolutely astounding when they chill a little bit. I'll tell you that. You can put them in the microwave and eat them up again, but there's just something about these when they're cold, right? So you use the juices because the butter will melt out, the natural fats from the ground mince will all melt out, and the cheese will melt out, right? And then you just pour it, not too much, just over the meatballs, just a little bit, right? Stick it in the fridge, whack your pork bellies on, 200, 15 to 16 minutes. I like to have the fat bit, I like that nice and crispy. So you want about 200 in the air fryer, 15, 16 minutes. And then when it's cooked, out it comes. It will all be coated because you poured over the lovely juices from the meatballs just over the pork bellies whilst they're in the thing in the air fryer, right? And it comes out, and then you've got a contrast of like cold on the meatballs and then hot or slightly chilled, right, on the meatballs, and the pork bellies warmer. And the contrast is absolutely fantastic. It really is a very, very, very nutritious meal. Okay, nutritious meal. Cheap as chips, easy to cook. A duffer like me can do it, and it will feed faces to satiety. All right. So there we are, short and sweet, all over. But that is something that our ancestors, the ancient cavemen, 600, 700, 800 years ago, would have eaten. All right, in a much more primitive way, but they would have eaten wild boar. Okay, thanks for listening. Enjoy your supper. Cheers. Ciao.